Yo, what is up? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day or trying to have a good week. We're getting closer to the weekend. We're at the weekend, obviously. And, last game of the regular season. But appreciate everybody coming in. This is the normal Friday stream that we usually have. We'll have the shakedown tomorrow. Then obviously the live play-by-play reaction of the Eagles and Giants on Sunday. And then obviously not going to put too much into that game on Sunday. It really depends how the Eagles are going to treat it with Devontae Smith missing his first game of his career, which is the smart thing. I mean, we need these guys for the playoffs. Obviously Dallas will probably win against the Commanders. So, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, you want these guys. I think our defense needs to play. I know that. You're gonna have Zach Cunningham back. You're gonna have some guys back at least, and Slay will be out. I think this will be the last week he'll be out, and Slay will be back by the playoff game, obviously. So, a lot of shit happened this week, obviously with AJ Brown. His interview and kind of put it. A lot of accountability on himself and the players more than the coaches. I really appreciate what A.J. Brown did, but at the same time, it's still the coaching, too. I know that Emmanuel Acho did put some, clips up of, that there was some plays that revolves around the Eagles and execution, but we know we know the play calling isn't what it should be. We know that things could be better, so we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where the Eagles players this week are really excited. And could A.J. Brown's interview this whole thing change things around? I don't know. The players are very optimistic, but at the same time, we gotta be realistic too. You know what I mean? We gotta be definitely realistic. So. Appreciate everybody joining, 64 people in the chat. Now, the number one thing, we got John Douglas, we got MJ, we got Nina. What's going on, Nina? We got Rock the Artist, we got Linda Conyers, we got John Douglas, Chris Kaufman. What's going on, man? Leo, what's going on, guys? Nathan Hoffman, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. So the first thing I want to talk about quick, I'm gonna talk about it a few times because I am promoting it, and it's for a good friend of mine, and that is Joe Castro. Joe Castro is raising money this year to go to the combine, the NFL combine, and go to the NFL draft as well. Now, he works his ass off. He covers a lot regarding combine interviews. It's really nice within the Eagles community, at least the content creator community, that we have one of our own that really is trying to strive for a lot more. And if you guys want to donate, and his link is in the description below, and you can copy and paste the link. Copy and paste the link right there into your browser in the live chat. Whether it's $1, $5, $3, it could be literally $1, okay? It goes towards traveling expenses and all of that. If you didn't see what work that Joe Castro did last year, his channel is Philly the podcast, so definitely check him out. He puts in a lot of work into. He probably is the most hardworking person, okay, that I know. That really is trying to strive for greatness on, not even on YouTube, but trying to do the things that I would have no balls in doing really at the end of the day. So. I do this because it's a hobby. I don't want to get into professional sports or professional podcasting or any of that type of shit at all. I'm just not into it. This is just a hobby at the end of the day. And there's some guys that just like to do this professionally. And, hopefully Joe is going to be one of those guys that's going to be a beat writer for the Eagles one day. But definitely support him and what he's doing. And I would appreciate it. Like I said, I've already donated already. I know a couple other people I know have donated as well. So he's just the main goal is $1,000. Me and Philly 500 are probably going to have him on tomorrow and promote his GoFundMe for obviously, he does a lot of interviews at the combine. I mean, a lot of insider information, and it's really nice to not only is he a really good friend, but at the same time he gets in there, and it does a lot for us, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do all that, a lot of traveling and a lot of work, and like I said, if you don't, there's no big deal. I get it. But if anybody just wants to try to go towards it, I would appreciate it so much for him, because he really does deserve it at the end of the day. He's one of the most hardworking people I know and deserves every bit of support he could possibly get. So appreciate everybody that's been listening. And we will we'll talk about this in a little bit, but shout out to Joe Castro, by the way. Now, obviously, going into Sunday, which is Sunday, which is going to be interesting. We have a 4:30 game on Sunday, and the repercussions are really bare to none at this point. I mean, it's going to be 5th seed most likely. Most likely, it's going to be our playoff game will be in Tampa Bay against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and we'll be doing that. So. There could be a possibility the Eagles face the Saints, maybe the Falcons, depending if certain things happen. But most likely, what it's looking like 5th seed, and it's looking like it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is a very winnable game. It is, and the Eagles have the time to change some things and do some things. I mean, look, I don't know. The coaching is the only problem for me right now, and the players are very excited this week. There's an energetic type feeling this week. So it looks good, but, just got to see a little bit more of what's going on. Well, we got a super chat for Bessie. Thank you so much, man. He says, have you watched much film? I talked about Jordan Davis being fat guy playing D-tackle. His lack of effort hurts the D-line a lot. I think to be honest, he's had a lot more snaps this year. He's had a lot more snaps, but I think a lot of guys have have hit a wall this year. I think a lot of guys have hit a wall this year. I don't think just him. I think a lot of guys. I think the whole defensive line can't get pressure at all. Like you're not running stunts, you're not blitzing, you're not trying to free these guys up, you're not being creative with your defensive line. So I think it's just more creativity on pass rush, and they don't know how to blitz. They barely blitz as it is, and I think these guys just hit a wall. It doesn't mean they're horrible. Doesn't mean they're bad players. It's just that, when you're just lining them up and you're just basically saying rush and you're not giving the offensive line on the other side any more confusion, I think that's a big problem. I think that's why it looks so generic. It doesn't look so damn, great. So I think that's a huge problem. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Appreciate the super, by the way. Elaine Alstrand says, Eagles will handle their business on Sunday. I think they should keep their better players out. Yeah, at this point, like, if Dallas was facing a better team the last week of the season, I would have played some guys. But at this point, like, I think we should just take it the way it is. The Eagles are not going to win the NFC East. The Eagles, are just, I don't know. It's just what it is right now. Like, I can't look forward to any of that as of right now. And I'm really focused on this playoff game. I don't even really care if they win or lose this game against the Giants, but at the same time, like, it depends how many guys are going to be out. So Devontae Smith will be out, but I still feel like it is a winnable game. And hopefully cut out mistakes, and hopefully play calling seems a lot better. So we will see. Oh, yeah. Clark, what's going on, man? Member for 11 months, camp counselor tier. What's going on, dude? He says, Joey, I just got here. What I missed? Nothing, man. We're just going over, like, really want to ask you guys just about A.J. Brown's interview, and do you think that really changed this week? Is there more of an energetic feeling this week where maybe things will change going to the playoffs, that there's a big opportunity here? What makes it so sad is just the players want this so badly, and I feel like the coaching staff is not going to move for these players, and I think that's a big problem. I think that's a huge issue right now. So we're just going to have to see. I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I had more answers regarding where this is going, because I think the good thing is like they can go into the playoffs like looking totally different. I mean, not saying you're going to put in a brand new offense, but you can really go into, because at this point, like if you're one and done, like I don't know, Nick is on the fence right now of getting fired. I mean, on the hot seat at least. That's my opinion. I don't think they will fire him, but I don't know, because he is almost losing this locker room very closely. And we have to kind of watch out for it. So we'll see. We got Nathan says, this week is narrative, the charity case, Serianni keeping his job. Yeah, I think it is. I don't think, nothing, even if the Eagles lose this game, I don't think anybody's losing their job or anything like that. But I think we have to take into consideration that, I don't know, like your players have been pissed off for the last 5 weeks, and the players like can only control so much. They can't control like what the plays are. They can't control much of anything. But a cry for help is what they've all been really doing. And I hope for better. You know what I mean? Like if the Eagles are one and done, like that's all I could really say. I mean, it's already one of the biggest crumbles I've ever seen in my life when it comes to a football team that was 10-1, 2 games up in the conference, and you completely fucking choke it. I know Deshaun Jackson had some things to say this week regarding the Eagles, saying like they look like con artists, but it could be in relation to what the Ravens did in 2012 when they lost the last like 4 to 6 games. I forgot what it was of the season. I think they won a Super Bowl. I think that was a Super Bowl year. I could be wrong. But I get it. Clark says, I completely agree, Broski. AJ said something. How do we know if it's... I think some of it's true. I think, he's on the field, so he sees and talks to players that maybe there are things that happen that maybe shouldn't have happened on the field when it comes to maybe a blocking assignment, when it comes to certain things that happen. But I think he believes it's somewhat of the players, but... as a fan of what we've been watching every week, it's a lot of coaching, man. It's a lot of coaching. It's situational football. It's time management. It's putting a team away when you can put them away. It's unnecessary plays, playing. We got the news that the last play at Seattle when they threw like the underthrown pass to AJ on purpose for a PI call type play, AJ said that was on the players, that the players improvised that play, which I guess, I mean, is what it is. I could believe it. If he's saying that, I could definitely believe it. So, Foley getting DB with the super chat. Thank you so much for saying, why do people want Nick fired when it's Howie? Well, it's because, like, at the end of the day, Nick's coaching the team. At the end, that's the problem. Even if it's Howie's job is not to be a player's coach. Like Howie, even if Howie's involved in the analytics and some of the play calling and what the Eagles should be doing on both sides of the football, at the end of the day, this is Nick's roster that he's in control of to keep them happy and to support them and to do right by the players. And Nick is just not doing that, I guess. I don't know. I know A.J. Brown said that none of it's Nick's fault, or why is Brian Johnson getting so much heat this season? Even though Brian Johnson, seems like every time Brian Johnson talks, it just seems like he has no idea. Like, every time he speaks, I feel like he doesn't even know what the Eagles are doing. Like, he talks as if he's not even in control of the offense, which I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised that sorry, I got some nasal drip at times. So appreciate the super chat, man. Dennis Barkdale says, I think Howie or Lurie will take away some of his power if this continues, if he doesn't like it, if he can walk. Well, that's the thing, dude. But taking away his power isn't, he's got no power. That's what I'm saying. Like, Nick has no power. Nick had no power. He's got no power when it comes to the play calling. And when it's like, it's this offense is run so analytically that they make no adjustments. The Eagles use analytics in the Super Bowl year, but the difference is they made a lot of adjustments constantly to the strength of the players, to the skill set of all the players. So getting rid of Nick isn't going to fix anything. Getting rid of Nick as he lost the locker room standpoint is just for that standpoint. It's not for, better play calling next year or something like that. So, but we'll see. Again, DB with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He said, I thought Howie is telling Nick what to. Yeah, but if he loses the locker room because of him being a player's coach, then that's not good either. It's not good. If you can't keep your guys motivated, then it's not good either. So it's bad on Howie and it's bad on Nick. It's jointed together. There's no difference. There is a difference, but it is what it is. Show enough says, but where was Howie control when Steichen was here? Steichen did what he wanted and was to run the football. The Eagles still used analytics. Like I said, the Eagles they did use analytics last year. But like I said, they have been less, the coaches have been less, how should I say this? There hasn't been much control as to, like I said, the adjustments haven't been more aggressive this year. Because look at it this way. When they were going through the gauntlet, they were winning the same way they were winning every week. The same way every week. So it's making you think like, holy shit, like, why change anything if we're winning right now? If we're getting the second half of these games, why change it? There's no point. After the Jets game, I figured, they would have made some changes. They didn't. Clark says it's fucking Howie. It might be. Danny May said everything's going to be all right. Nathan says, did you see the article about Alec Cowboy interviewing for GM jobs? Is that good for us or bad? I don't know. I haven't read any crazy news on that. I haven't really been focused on like the off-season part stuff because the Eagles still have a playoff game. I don't know, like... There was news from Josina Anderson a few days ago regarding a potential, a potential big move in the NFC East, an unexpected move. And the only two moves I could see that are unexpected that would surprise everybody is probably like Ron Rivera getting fired from Washington, or maybe that's not much of a surprise, but Howie Roseman getting fired as the GM, which I highly doubt. I'd be shocked over it. I don't know if I'd even be happy at this point. All Howie would have to do is just do the numbers, put the roster together, and be collaborative with your coaches a lot more, and just leave everything else alone during the season. I would love an Eric Bieniemy at OC. I would love a guy that has his own style of offense coming to the Philadelphia Eagles. This way, if he fucks everything up, we could blame it all on that guy. So if a guy comes in and says, hey, I want to run this offense with my own style, and if I screw this up, then it's on me. So that's where I kind of take everything into account when it comes to, getting an offensive coordinator. The defense, with this scheme, it's not only affecting our play during the season, but every time we fucking release somebody or a player leaves and goes somewhere else to play, there's production. The Eagles are not getting enough production at linebacker. The Eagles are not getting enough production from certain players that have left. And I think one of the here's something that Dan Sileo said the other day. He talked about Derek Barnett, and Derek Barnett only had 2 tackles for the year before he left the Eagles. I understand he wanted to leave, and he was kind of hinting at it before the season started. Okay, he goes to the Houston Texans. He's already got, in a few weeks, he's already got 2.5 sacks and like 14 tackles for the year. Shit like that. I don't know. It confuses me. Linebacker especially, since every linebacker, Duke Riley's playing really good for Miami, and he was a practice squad guy. Alex Singleton is leading the defense for the Broncos in tackles. I'm not saying that he would have been a star or anything. I'm just saying in general that every time we get rid of one of our linebackers, they're producing so much more. Miles Jack goes back to the Steelers and has a couple good games. LJ Fort left the Eagles a few years ago. LJ Fort left, the Eagles. The Eagles cut him, and he goes to Baltimore and plays fantastic. It's just crazy, dude. There's just some shit that just doesn't it just confuses me. He's got to go with the bad with Howie. He has too much power. Who's going to bark him out of the rooms? And that's the problem. Stick to the drafting, stick to the cap, stick to the trade, stick to all of that, and just like being collaborative with the coaches during the draft and what the coaches need, and he'll get it done. And just stay off the playbook and let Nick have his power, not his power, but I mean Howie's got to have some type of power. But when it comes to the playbook, he's got to let go. And if he doesn't, I don't know. It's going to be insane. Dennis says, Goddard saying that Howie is in every team meeting is insane. Yeah, I mean, that's a little too much at times. A little too much at times. I mean, there's really nothing wrong about that. I mean, like, he just wants to be involved, but hopefully it doesn't mean that it's too much. Kind of weird. Is it every team meeting, though? I don't know. We'll see. Chris Coleman, Super Chat, thank you so much. Dude said, is it a coincidence that our run defense collapsed after Barnett was cut? Yeah, but the Eagles don't. The Eagles, like, when they were losing, when they lost like the 4 out of 5 games they lost, like, their morale was just going down, dude. We got to know that they have been playing great. Like, when you're losing games consistently, like, you're not going to play great. So, and the guys haven't been playing with a lot of juice. The tackling has been piss poor. They don't smack anybody in the mouth. Seth Joyner's been pretty much right about everything regarding this team, especially this defense. And I totally agree on that, So it's not a physical defense. After Slay's Slay's on his podcast a few weeks ago talking about, not tackling a specific way. And, these are guys getting paid millions and, like, this is how they fucking act, dude. It's like, I can't stand that shit. Mr. James said, believe it or not, defense is being played under analytic. Yeah, no, it might be. It might be. I know the rotation the last couple weeks has slowed down. They haven't been rotating as much. Jalen Carter last game, I think, only had like 21 snaps. I mean, why? I mean, guys are getting tired. I mean, you can't even rotate your guys at some point, So that kind of hurts us in the back end. Hurts us in the back end a little bit. Mark says TJ Edwards is balling out. I mean, he's fucking balling out like crazy. He's balling out in Chicago. It's fantastic. He's balling out in Chicago like crazy. So, yeah, it sucks, but it sucks. Shouldn't have let him go. It sucks to say, but Tommy says Howie's too involved, needs to dial it back and hire coordinators that run their own playbook. Yeah, well, that's what I've been saying. I feel like they have to. I feel like they have to do that, and if they don't, it's going to be a problem. They have to hire a coordinator. They have to hire a coordinator that's going to do his own work. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So that's what I'm hoping that they do, because if they hire some guy we've never heard of at all, that means that they're going to be a yes man to Howie and the rest of the coaching. Like, seriously, like, if they hire some random dude, we don't even know who he is. Like, he's an assistant that never had a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator job, or somebody at a left field that we don't know about. That most likely means that it's just some random fucking dude, okay, that has no experience and just wants the fucking increase in his salary. I mean, that's just what it is. The difference here is that the offense used to keep defense fresh with soul and drives. Need to take what's given, be aggressive. No, I get it. I totally get it, dude. Like, I feel like, I mean, there's got to be more of a creative game plan going into these games, and the rotation is what makes, because if you're slowing down, they slowed down the rotation. If you slow down the rotation, all it's doing is making it. It's just making it worse. You know what I mean? It's making it worse at the end of the day. So you're getting your guys more tired. Like I said, Jalen Carter only had 21 snaps. Like, that's no, can't do that. So. Big Wick Trader says the Cardinals ran because they legit were not trying to win. Their GM was pissed. Yeah, I saw the video of that. I was kind of confused over that whole thing. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. Did y'all see Rager get his touchdown? Yeah, I seen it. What was it? Was it kick return or punt return? Dre says, yeah, we legit basically don't have an offensive coordinator right now. Yeah, I mean, we basically have Brian Johnson with the label, but he's mostly an offensive assistant. I mean, that's really all he's doing right now. So, Tom said there's no reason the offense isn't putting 30-plus points weekly. AJ sticking up for the coaches is great, but I don't agree with him regarding it as isn't the play calling. Yeah, well, I think he's trying to. I mean, another thing that he could be trying to do is taking the heat off the coaches. I think that's what he's doing and trying to protect them as well. Like, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, they might be having meetings, but obviously, whatever they've been doing the last 5 weeks have not worked. Like, obviously, whatever they've been doing the last few weeks have not worked at all. So if the Eagles went up, I mean, I can't think that they didn't go to the coaching staff for a day and be like, yo, we need to change some things. Like, things have to be changed. Otherwise, we're in fucking deep shit. I mean, we're in deep shit. Dennis says, I think if you're going to get scored on at will, you might as well have it happen fast and take some risks to get a turnover. I guess. Young Boy Majestic says, with change of coaches would matter if they're shackled with this organization's higher ups. I wonder what they talk about during meetings when they're watching tape. I wonder what they say to each other when, like, you know, when you're not running with DeAndre Swift enough in the first half, when you're throwing these kill shots downfield when you could waste more time on the clock on a wasted down. Why are you throwing a screen pass to Kenny Gainwell? Why do you make things so obvious? Why do you make it so predictable? Why do you run with Jalen Hurts so much? And why don't you let your players work for those yards? Why is there any quick throws off the line? Why isn't there any hot route, something in the middle? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just to that point now where, like, it's like nothing is changing. Like, we have a playoff game. If we didn't have a playoff game right now, all shit would break loose right now. It would be bad. Be horrible. Will says, what does a Week 18 blowout mean to you? I don't know. It means that if they get blown out by the Giants, which I doubt it. I don't think they'll get blown out. 100% they're not going to get blown out. But if that even happened, then I wouldn't have much faith going to the playoff game. I'm not going to have much faith going to a playoff game. I'll be excited for a playoff game. I'll be supportive of them in the playoff game. But I'm not going to think that, if they can't even get points on the Giants and they make their own mistakes, you can't fumble the football. You can't fumble on special teams like they did against the Giants last time. They can't do shit like that because we literally gave the Giants 14 points last game. I mean, like, you scored 30 points, which is great. You should be scoring 30 points on the fucking Giants. Okay? So bad that the hype of the hype of Tommy DeVito was done after, like, not even 2 quarters, okay? And he was benched for Tyrod. So, and if you can't even get you can't get sacks, you can't even get pressure. Like, the pressures are not enough. It's just not enough. They got to take quarterbacks down. How many times have they rushed the quarterback and they lay a hand on him and can't take him down? This pass rush is horrible because they're horribly coached. It's bad, dude. It's really bad. Nate says, there was an estimation of Swift's value at, it's like $22 million over 3-4 years. Unfortunately, it won't be here. Yeah, and unfortunately, like, if there's one player, I don't know, dude, because it's going to be hard for him to go to another team for more money. Like, he's not going to have 1,000 yards. Like, who's gonna sign him? A bad team in need is going to sign him. I don't know. The number one signing I want done besides Devontae Smith's, I think the Eagles are going to pick up Devontae Smith's option regardless, is I feel like they really have to sign DeAndre Swift. Yes, I know they don't sign running backs to extra money. I get it, but DeAndre Swift is just over 1,000 yards right now. Second to last game of the season, over that, just over 1,000. Whatever, 1,048, 1,000, whatever it is. Okay, DeAndre Swift should be the second best back in the league right now. DeAndre Swift should have 1,300 to 1,400 yards. I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm not even joking right now. It should be a lot more. John Dudley, guys, appreciate it so much, man. Yeah, we got 143 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't. Appreciate it so much. And if you guys haven't, subscribe to... Oh, not subscribe. Donate to Joe Castro's GoFundMe for all his traveling expenses for the combine and all that great stuff. Go check his page out. Donate a fucking $1. I don't even care. Just support. It's going towards really good content and a lot of inside information that we're all gonna get. Because one of our own is doing his thing, man. And we got one of our own out there, covering the combine, covering the draft, and doing all great work. So appreciate it so much. Sorry, I'm screwing this up right now, so I apologize because I'm dumb. Josh Proud said there's a picture I saw of Johnson talking to Hurts on the sideline. He's holding a regular size sheet of paper folded in background with Serianni with the Waffle House menu play sheet. I really hope that's not true. And if you have that picture, send me it on Twitter. All my links are in the description below. All my links to everything are in the description below, so you can always message me if you have to. Mr. A says, wanted to see more Davis and Carter together, saw enough. Yeah, I mean, we'll hopefully have a lot more going into the playoff game, so. I mean, this is the perfect spot for the Eagles to be in. Like, not even just, yeah, I know, I understand. You didn't win the division. You choked away at the division. You choked at number 1 seed. But to be honest with you, as a 5th seed, facing Tampa Bay, I mean, it's a beatable team, guys. It's a beatable team. Oh, yeah, it's criminal, dude. Not using DeAndre Swift is criminal. Chris is just over 1,000. We don't even run. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, we're barely even running with him. And he's just over that. That's how talented this offense is. I'm strictly just talking offense right now. This offense, there's no excuse for some coach or what the play calling should be. This team should be scoring 35 plus, 40 plus points on teams. There's no doubt. Reggie says, Eagles do not have effortless touchdowns. Hurts runs around in the pocket too much and finally throws the ball. Hurts made Goddard touchdown more difficult. Yeah, I mean, look, what teams are doing to Jalen Hurts now, because so many teams are watching tape. And the Eagles could take advantage and counter this and do something different in the playoffs. But what teams are doing is they're rushing to Hurts' left. They're making him uncomfortable, and they're doing an all-out blitz or just putting more pressure to his left side to make him bail out to the right. There's a lot of times where Hurts is not. Sometimes he misses guys wide open. Sometimes he's not, I thought he was going through his progressions well in that game against the Cardinals, but that last series was just the last 2 series really were just like, I don't know. Play calling wise, and I mean, to make changes, to play for a field goal. I mean, on 2 runs for Hurts, 1 for 4, 1 for taking a sack, and then throwing a fucking screen to Gainwell. It just makes no sense. They still overutilized Gainwell like he's some fucking, I don't know. Are they trying to like trade him after this year? Are they trying to get as much value from him? I don't even know. I mean, seriously, it makes you wonder sometimes what they're doing. Dennis says, Tommy, says, under center would make our play action RPO game so much more efficient. I'm shocked on linebackers have clear line of sight of the ball. Hurts moving backwards shields the handoff. We need Swift back. Yeah, we need him involved, like bad. Tom says, where the fuck are plays for under center? It would open up everything, including RPO. Well, yeah, even running the ball a lot too would open up play action. Remember their games that they played this year where they're running play action nonstop, play action. But, play action only works when you have a successful run game. So the play action does nothing. The play action is actually helping the defensive line because they know they're not, the Eagles aren't running the ball. Your substitutions are a whole nother fucking thing too. Every time, just like the first series of the Cardinals game, okay, they ran with DeAndre Swift 2 times, and then they took him out and put Gainwell in, and they knew it was a pass. It's like they're making it too obvious with the subs too. It's hurting us. We have a history of losing the Cardinals at times, but when they are trash, sometimes they're not. No, it's a 3-win team, dude. They were giving up 140 something yards against the run. They were the second worst team against the rush. Their run defense was horrible. And we couldn't do seriously. Their defense is second. Their defense was second during that time in score. They were giving up 27 points a game. Over 140 yards rushing on the ground. And just couldn't create anything. Jaden says a beatable team. They just lost to the Cardinals at home. Yeah, they lost to the Cardinals because of situational football. They lost to the Cardinals because they weren't aggressive enough in that last series. They were gifted an onside kick to score. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they lost, but they lost because they inflicted their own... They did that to themselves, dude. That's what they've been doing all year. They're hurting themselves. They're making themselves work harder all year. Those games in the gauntlet, the offense was... So much pressure was on that offense. So much pressure on Jalen Hurts putting the team on his back. What saved us in those gauntlet games were mistakes from other teams, and the Eagles' defense was getting situational, really good sacks. In the fourth quarter, some good stops, and and Jalen Hurts just putting the team on his back. In multiple weeks. What resolution is my monitor? I don't even know. It's not in the 200s. It's like 180. I think. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's much. It's not over 200. So. Youngster, I said before, man, just no jet sweeps, no motion, no drag routes for a quick out. It's simple fixes, and they just can't seem to understand. Ridiculous. No, there's nothing quick. Everything takes too long to develop. Everything takes too long. It's not a quick pass. They never do a quick pass. It's either going to be a quick pass. It's not a quick pass, but it's going to be a bubble screen. Nothing. There's no. They used a little bit of motion, but it's just like that motion where it's just. It's like that motion, like DeAndre Swift will just move, he'll motion half the field and come back. Like I'm watching these other teams motion. I'm just like, damn. The Eagles are dead last ranked. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, dude. I don't even know. Spunky 1991 member for 41 months, man. Of the Slasher crew. What's going on, man? He says, unless the Eagles go on a miraculous playoff run, I want Nick Serianni fired. I get it. The players are trying to uplift this team, but they don't control the coaching at the end of the day. They don't. And whether it's the offense or the defense, but if the Eagles are one and done in the playoffs, he should be gone. And if Howie Roseman doesn't let go of any type of control after that and doesn't let look, at the end of the day, why didn't Brian DeBall didn't want to come here? A lot of guys didn't want to come here to be a head coach. A lot of guys didn't. That's why they went to the college ranks too, because I feel like they went to the college ranks for a coordinator, because I don't think anybody wants to coach here. They're going to grab some assistant off a team that's going to be a yes man, that's going to get a bigger salary. And that's how that's going to go. So, by the way, this is I know someone was asking before. This is a 3070 graphics card, by the way. Somebody was asking. Ryan says, this is Nick's offense from 21. We can all see that. Brian used two tight end sets and heavy run game at Florida. Oh, I'm not seeing much of that. Big said, at some point, changing play schemes and coaches will do more than good. Yeah, that's the problem, though. Like, I don't know how much they can incorporate a lot into the offense, but they can't put in a brand new offense, but they can incorporate a lot. It's all fixable. I've been saying this for fucking weeks. When they lost against the 49ers, what did I say? I said the Eagles have time on their side to get things right. And they just still fucking didn't. Just didn't. Tommy says, the fans provide energy and there's no fight from the team, no passion, while the coaches look dumb on the sideline. Yeah. And look, think about this. And when the players do have excitement going into a week to play a football game, as soon as they hit that field and it's consistent bad play calling, morale goes right down the fucking tubes, right down the drain, and the Eagle players are pissed off and back to their normal selves. Because there's been a lot of players that have been starting to crack a little bit. There's been a lot of players starting to crack a little bit here and there. So it's been kind of nuts. Foggy Yank says, if we lose due to our own mistakes all year, no evidence shows it will change. If we lose it as against Cardinals, we'll lose against Bucks and Giants. It could be. They could. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, they could totally lose against the Giants. They could lose against Tampa Bay. No doubt. Tampa Bay is very beatable. But at the same time, it's like the Eagles going to shoot themselves in the foot, not make adjustments, not make changes, and do the same shit. Somebody has to get fired if they lose that game. There's no excuse. The Eagles choked up. At 10-1, 10-2, whatever it was. 2 games ahead in the conference. Losing four out of 5 games. Hopefully not 5 out of 5. Hopefully not 5 out of 6. Hopefully not. Or whatever. Because losing this game Sunday is really going to suck going to the playoffs. Like, it's really going to not be good. It's not going to be good at all. Hold on, let me get something real quick. One second. Sorry. I had to get something real quick. Okay. I'm confident the Eagles can do this. I hope so. I mean, I have no issues in the players. I have issues in the coaching. I'm always going to feel that way. The rumor is that they will play more 21 with Smitty out. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Smitty is going to be out his first game as an Eagle. I mean, at this point, you can't force him to play. So, Brian Donahue says it's literally 50-50. It's up to the Eagles and the Eagles alone. That is true. Donkey Butter says we need to hire Don Shipley, former U.S. Navy SEAL. Navy SEALs are great warfighters and will be great strategists. What's going on, EC? Rich says should have never lost to the Jets. Yeah, it would have been a difference. Shouldn't have lost to Seattle. That Seattle game kicked us in the fucking ass. That one hurt us, but it doesn't matter because the Eagles lost 2 more games after that, or 1 more, whatever it was. The Eagles, it's not like that was, if the Eagles won out the rest of the year after Seattle, we wouldn't have had no problem at the 2nd seed and the division, but we choked that up too. Mark said, can we continue to run the ball, chance at the games? Eagles fans are awesome for doing that. Help these coaches. That's how sad it was, dude. That's how sad it was. Ray Lester says the Eagles' defense is an embarrassment and one of the worst I've ever seen the Birds have. It's pretty bad. I mean, it's not great. Devin says, I'm ready for this season to be over. I'm looking forward to 24 season. See, Silence says, sorry guys, the season is definitely done. And look, I respect people that the opinion of that. Ryan says Shaq and Morrow ain't it. Yeah, Shaq, I don't know. Shaq's been really weird. I don't know. The tackling has been just god awful. Sidney Brown said something after the game. Remember what Sidney Brown said? I don't know if you guys seen that, but Sidney Brown said, no wonder our practices kind of invert to our actual games on game day, which meaning that their practices are affecting how they're playing games too, because this team doesn't play tough. I mean, but we'll see. Bobby says, seems to me that after AJ saying it's not coaching, it's us players, and then what Serianni said today, that some of these bad plays being called is on Hurts making bad decisions, audibles. I really hope he's not blaming the players. And I know that Jalen Hurts isn't having a great year. This is a regressing year, but it's a regressing year because of how they treated him in this offense, and I think it's definitely hurting him. When I say regressing, people think I'm saying that he's not going to be a good quarterback for the rest of his career. But, you got the guy hurt early in the season. You fucking ran with him so many times. He got hit so many times. Had the knee injury. Wasn't healthy, really too healthy middle of the season. And probably isn't still 100% healthy right now. So you lose that third element to your offense, which is Jalen Hurts running with the football in his hands. And you kind of force him in the pocket. And I got to say, he's had some good games in the pocket this year. A lot of good games. But, things don't last too long. And when bad play calling persists and teams are playing tougher than you and, you got a blueprint and you're kind of figured out at this point, it's a fucking disaster. It's a total disaster. So I'm hoping things do change. I really hope so. Young boy Majest says, my concern is players giving up on the organization before changes are made for the better. Great talent. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I see so many players quitting on the team saying or demanding a trade. The only thing I could see happening this offseason is probably maybe a holdout or something for more money. I don't know if anyone's really going to leave the team or demand a trade. Okay. I feel like Hassan Reddick is going to be a player that it might hold out. He's got double-digit sacks, and he's way underpaid right now, and that could be a problem down the road. So, I love the meme of the woman in the stand saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, she got interviewed. I mean, that went viral. She got interviewed. Yeah, he said Browns. Yeah, I don't know the exact quote, but I know he said something about obviously the practices relating into the game. So Browns said practices are a reality on Sundays was Brown's quote. Yeah, it shows. It just all shows. Terrell Ray says Zach Cunningham coming back going to help defense. I feel like Milton Williams should start at DT since JD has had so many snaps on the season. Yeah, I think Jordan Davis's snap count has, I think, doubled since last year. So, yeah, I mean, he's had a good year this year. But it starts with him on the defensive line because he commands everything. I get it. I don't know. No one else is really producing that much. Obviously, Reddick has the numbers. I get it. But Reddick is very streaky. 1 month he'll have no sacks. Another month he'll have 6. He's very streaky when he gets on a roll, he's on a roll. Plus you had Hassan Reddick in pass coverage, 6-7 times, the most in his career as an Eagle so far, and that's a fucking mistake. Young boy says Jalen doesn't really need to be mobile with this offense roster scheme. Use the players around you. I don't know why they have to put so much on him. If the pressure has to be on him when he extends plays, that's perfectly fine. But I just feel like they put way too much on him. I think that's a big problem. Tom said, there is one thing that bothers me about Hurts. He leaves the pocket way too fast. He needs to hang in there longer. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Bails out too. And half the time when he bails out to the fucking right, as he usually does, there's nobody open. Every time he bails out, there's nobody open. Never. No one's ever open. I don't know. But here's the one thing that does work offensively. When they run with DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts gets into a really good rhythm. The passing game is great. When DeAndre Swift gets in his juice mode, when he gets that big run, he fucking falls down, he starts flexing towards the camera. I swear to God, in those moments, they get Jalen Hurts to a really good rhythm, and then they go back to a dumbass play. That's what happens almost all the time. And it's annoying. Yeah, I thought Mauro Jomo played really good. I was actually like, holy shit, man. I like him. Yeah, he had a couple good tackles, few good tackles. Thought he played pretty good. Ryan says, I have to rest Davis, Carter, and Reddick. Is even possible? Only shit, we beat Bucks, we get pressure. Yeah, I mean, that's it. We're going to find out how many guys they do rest or play for maybe a quarter or something. EC wants to Howie and Lurie need to give coaches some power. I'm tired of hiring yes man. Yeah, I get it. This is Craig Jordan getting blowback for the chicken spot. He did anything to distract terrible coaching, I guess. Howie really wants to print coordinators for the league for some reason. Yeah. Oh, man. It's going to be a dramatic TMZ type offseason for the Eagles, no doubt. Jarrell Ray says, I'm not saying he hasn't had a good year, but the rotation up front is trash. Yes, J.D. snaps have doubled this season, which is how he fucked up. Really sweaty Hassan snaps are up from last season. Yeah. But there's no creativity on the defensive line. That's a big problem. There's no creativity at all. I'm hoping there's more, but Armand says Howie's actually went down the practice facility. Very interesting. Oh, he does that. I mean, it's not that he goes down to the practices sometimes. That doesn't mean much of anything. That's what GMs do. Sometimes Jeffrey Lurie goes down there, not as much, but you know. Big Wick says we could be one seed if we won Seahawks and Cardinals in those fourth quarters, but we feel pretty much the same way about them. Yeah, I mean, they don't know how to put teams away. They don't know situational football where when they have a chance to go downfield and waste a lot of time, they just don't do it. They'd rather throw a deep fucking pass on second and short, third and short, and get a quick score. I don't get why, what the analytics say is, that's what they read all the time. It's really annoying. Mayor, what's going on, dude? He says, why there's no one open there blocking, but watching Hurts run and don't try to get off the block is scramble. That's on coaching and players. Yeah, it's on both. Yeah, totally agree. Jared said, you know why Jalen's been too early? Because they try to make him a standard QB. Bro, it's 24. The mobile QB is here. Figured the shit out to get Frank in here to show you. Yeah. And I feel he's used to bailing out. He's used to doing that. So if he senses one bit of pressure, and because your offense is not getting any jump start, he feels as if he stands in the pocket, it's going to be a dead play. So as soon as he senses just a little tiny bit of pressure, he starts to run and tries to make something out of nothing, really, and goes nowhere with it. Tommy says, Serianni said Hurts is a full immunity to audible any play. Why hasn't he checked out if screen passes or draws? I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that. Because I don't see that many audibles. I don't see that many. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Drill Ray says, how we feel about going after Devin White and free agency? We let TJ walk. When we could have paid him the same shit. We need a solidified backer in the middle. Yeah, well, that's going to be the talk of the offseason this year because Nakobe Dean is still out. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will not be a first-round pick, and the Eagles have 2 seconds. And on top of getting an offensive lineman and probably a starting cornerback in the first round, the Eagles have really got to draft a fucking linebacker this year because Nakobe Dean is still fucking out. I mean, Nakobe Dean is hurt 3 fucking times already this year. 3. He missed valuable time in the offseason, joint practices, all that shit. He missed so much valuable time. And sometimes I've forgotten about Nakobe Dean, like this season. I forgot about him. And he's still not back. I mean, you've had to dip into free agency how many times? Like 3-4 times? Miles Jack, Zach Cunningham, Rashad Evans. I mean, holy fucking shit, dude. I mean, they haven't stopped. Shaquille Leonard, Shaq Leonard. Devin said, if Dallas loses to Washington, I'll be wow. Anything can happen to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not really worried. I'm not really worried about them losing that game. I don't know. I don't know if they're even gonna. I can't see them losing that game. If they lose that game and the Eagles rested players and we lose our game, that's gonna really suck. But it is what it is. Philly 416 says lack of creativity and vision on both sides of the ball. 100% agreed. Charles says big wick traders. What do you trade? Stock crypto? Eagles fan says they got to start putting Hurts under center more often. I also think they should stack their receivers. Great mismatches. Yeah, I know. They've stacked their receivers a few times. They don't do it that much, but they've done it a few times in the game. But yeah, under center would be great. It would be great. Yeah, Kaiser White. Yeah, Kaiser's playing good Kaiser's another linebacker that's playing good. I don't know did he play? I don't remember even seeing him. But EC1 says, Joey, you said it before, like coaches like Aaron Moorhead, Alex Tanney, Brian Johnson need to go next season, whether we win a Super Bowl or not. I've never liked him. I still don't. Well, if the Eagles win a Super Bowl, then I don't think anyone's getting fired. I doubt it. If they win it all this year, obviously, it's gonna be tough to. It's gonna be really tough to fire anybody at this point. I mean, I still think they need to. I think the most you could do if they do win, okay, let's just say they do win a Super Bowl this year, okay? If that's the case, then you need a new defense. This defense isn't going to last this year. It's not going to last. We got Kyrie Moore. What's going on, man? Hope you're having a good day with the super chat. Thank you. So at this point, do we even want Dean back? I mean, Dean's the third. I mean, thank God Dean was a 3rd round pick. Thank fucking God. But Dean getting hurt 3 times already is already yeah. It's not looking good for him. I'm not putting my chips on Dean next year. I don't give a crap. I don't care about his talent. I don't care about I don't care about ceiling. I don't care about any of that. The Eagles need to get the Eagles need a lot of linebackers in the building. A lot of linebackers. No doubt. Appreciate the super, Kyrie. Appreciate the super chat. Eagles got to sign a veteran linebacker who was good for 3 years and draft a linebacker in the 3rd round. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. If Zach Cunningham comes back and plays really well again, and Zach Cunningham has been a little injury prone this year, but yeah, they need to draft somebody young. They can't just keep continuing with 1-year deals. 1-year deals are fine, but they just do it way too much to a point where there's so many guys that leave. You don't have the future at linebacker right now. And until Nakobe Dean gets healthy and actually shows me anything, I'm kind of writing him off now. I'm writing Nakobe Dean off until he shows me more. Thanks. This season is done. Thanks for Serianni. EC One says Duke Riley, Kevon Wallace, leave played better. Yeah, Kevon Wallace is playing really good in Tennessee. Kevon Wallace was like was a random cut for the Cardinals, and Jonathan Gann said he just had to get cut. They didn't want to cut him, but he went to Tennessee. Is playing really good. And Kevon Wallace is on the last year of his contract. Every guy that we've let go, like a lot of guys, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like if Chauncey can come back, and I don't know if that's even somewhat, can you salvage that at this point? I hope. I love Chauncey. I don't care what he said. Like, you know, there was a lot of friction in the offseason. The Eagles couldn't waste any time. They had to sign. I mean, if Chauncey was signed, the Eagles wouldn't have re-signed Bradbury. And I thought Bradbury was the most surprising sign because, you know, not signing Chauncey opened up a big signing for, you know, Bradbury at this point. So I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to Vegas, but it will depend on our defense. If that happens, yeah, it will depend on our defense. Yeah. Because what they really, I mean, you didn't have the Cardinals punt one time in that game. Probably wrote Tech Dish Fast says got a new owner and general manager. Or nothing changes. Yeah, I mean, that will never happen. That will never happen. EC says, do you think we should sign Oz back? And when you bring Janaris Sneed, cornerback from KC, as a free agent cornerback? It really depends what they do at corner because they have a lot of depth there right now. Like, I want to see more from Eli Ricks. I want to see more from Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo didn't have a good game last game. I mean, nobody had a good game defensively. I mean, you can't even say one guy had a great game defensively. Nobody had a good fucking game. Oz is great. You know, I feel like Oz with a good coordinator, they can make him more involved. I honestly like that Julio Jones has been was heavily involved in that game against the Cards. I mean, 2 touchdowns from Julio. Like, he definitely has some juice in the tank. Definitely has a lot of juice in the tank, no doubt. I get it, but yeah, it really depends. I know Quez is definitely gone. Oz could come back. We'll see. You know, and it's not because he hasn't done shit this year. It's not because I think his blocking's fantastic. I think he's got speed. I think he definitely has a lot. Getting a number 3 receiver is not a hard thing to do. It's not really hard to get. They can always get like a number 3 guy in the draft mid rounds or something like that. Some type of a fast, gem. There's always time to do all of that. And I don't think Zacchaeus will be that expensive if they want to bring him back. I don't want Quez back at all. I think Quez needs to walk and just do his thing. It's unfortunate. It's been injured this year. I had a lot of high hopes for Quez this year with the rest of our guys. But Isaiah Rodgers is going to be another corner. It's coming off the gambling thing, the gambling suspension. And there's a lot of cornerbacks on our roster. There's a lot of depth there. We got to see, obviously with Zach McPherson coming back and Avonte Maddox will probably get traded at this point. Look at Avonte Maddox first game. Holy fucking hell did he get burned the whole game. I mean, everybody did, but he got fucking torched. It's his first game back. I mean, I can't even put too much on it. He hasn't played in fucking weeks. Start Ringo at cornerback 2 with Slay. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that. Chris Jones walk commanding $30 million. Well, the Eagles aren't paying that, so I don't want to pay another defensive lineman until they change this defense. Paying another defensive lineman does absolutely nothing. It's a waste of fucking money. They're gonna, third and four in the fucking Cardinals game, and they're playing 8 yards off the ball. It makes no fucking sense. At this point, you might as well just let guys just get easy first downs. Yeah, Chris said line up 10 yards off the ball makes it impossible to have a good game. No, it doesn't. You don't have a chance. You can't even contest a fucking catch at this point. You can't contest anything. There's a lot of good wide receivers that are free agents this year. Yeah, look, if there's a receiver out there that's not mid-tier, that's like kind of between low to mid-tier, that's got a lot of speed and can catch the ball and won't be a prime focus in your offense because you're still going to have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith here, then sign him. You know what I mean? Oh, Quez is a free agent, so he's a free agent. It's the last year of his deal. Nate says, not to me, I was tempted with Kelly Green. Let's see. Let's see here. There's 187 in the chat. Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight, talking about the Eagles. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. As much as possible. Thank you so much to everybody. Very much. Where are we, actually? Oh. We are over an hour. Okay. We are. Joey, ain't we supposed to have a lot of cap this off? We're supposed to have 28 to $30 million, which is really good. Which is really, it's not a bad start. And they could here, I'll go on the site right now and check out I'm going to check out the contracts quick. Just to get it. So I'm just going to go over let's see here. Let's see. So if we go over contracts, right? Let's do this. Let's do this the right way instead of looking stupid here. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. All right. Let's get rid of that. All right, well, I'll just read it for now. So looking at contracts, right? So let's see. We can look at Avonte Maddox, right? He's almost $11 million cap hit next year. The Eagles aren't keeping him at that number. It's not going to happen. If they cut him pre-June, it's $2 million in savings, $7 million in dead. So that's definitely, if they cut him post-June, yeah. So if they cut him post-June, they get $7.5 million, $2 million in dead cap, which is not bad. If they trade him post-June, I think it's the same thing. But let's check the restructures out, right? Let's see here. What would be interesting? Dallas Goedert, anything big? They're not going to restructure Hassan Reddick for $10 million. I doubt that's going to happen. Maddox for $4 million. Kevin Byard's still going to be will be a free agent, obviously. Or I don't know if he has another year on his deal. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I don't know. Restructure wise, I don't know what they're going to do. The restructuring aspect, they could save $2.5 million with Josh Sweat. So there's really not much there to really go off of regarding like restructures. Maybe, I just don't think that Avonte Maddox is going to be here regardless. So I'm not really sure. But it should be like $26 to $30 million. That's like where we're at right now. We got Spunky1991 with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, I stand with AJ. I would much rather have players who care than players who don't care and are just there for a paycheck. AJ Brown clearly does care. Yeah, dude, he definitely does. Not talking to the media for a couple weeks, raise some eyebrows, which of course the Philadelphia media feasts on that shit. Of course, Jeff McClain with his stupid fucking articles, Marcus Hayes, stupid fucking articles. He definitely does, man. Definitely does. I got all respect in the world. Like when he wasn't talking to the media, like I said, good for him. Why should he do? I mean, if he talks to the media, they're gonna think they're gonna make up a fucking article on what he says, and they're gonna twist his words around. And if he doesn't say something, it's gonna be even worse. I knew it was gonna be worse when he wasn't gonna say anything at all. You know what I mean? I knew that for a fact. So it is what it is. All right, what's going on? My chat. All right, we're good. Appreciate the super chat, man. Bayard there till 25. Really? His contract is that long for another 2 years? I think he's on contract for another year, I think. I don't know. I gotta look. First things first, sign DBS. Who's DBS? Someone help me out. Who's DBS? I'm trying to figure out who DBS is. I don't like when things in synonyms and shit. Chris says Cox and Graham gone. Yeah, I mean that they're gonna have to get another edge rusher. They're gonna have to get another edge rusher, no doubt. There's no doubt about it. Papa says no fear, not in the defensive-minded player. Stuff says everyone in their way out the door. Thanks for your time. Yeah, they need to sign new people. They have to get younger too. Oh, Devontae Smith. Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna pick up his option. And if you're talking about Darius Slay, no, I want him gone. Philly D says the season's not over. No, it's not over. It's not over. I mean, look, that's what people are gonna talk about that. So, you know, some people just don't care, and I respect it. Like there's Eagle fans that will watch and say or be in the chat, be like, yeah, you know, I don't really give a fuck, but I'll watch. But I don't think they're going anywhere. I get it. You know, I get it. Jarrell said we need a solid middle linebacker and go for the trenches both sides. They need a fucking field general. They really do. They need a leader. Like, you don't even have leadership on this defense at all. You need a linebacker that's just a physical specimen of a fucking player. Like, they need someone that's gonna make quarterbacks are gonna fear this linebacker. I mean, lining up wherever. Someone that's just an absolute fucking monster. It's what they really need. I've been dying for a player like that when we don't have it. What the fuck is going on? Chris says, we need to get younger sharks. We need headhunters out there. Yeah, because when you get these guys that are older, like Slay is another one that really pissed me off a few weeks ago with his comments on his podcast. It's just fucking pissed me off. Well, it says Gox has way more snaps than any defensive tackle. He's playing well. He's playing really good this year. Fletcher Cox played well. I didn't think he was going to play this good, but you know there were games where he's had more snaps and he's gotten pressures this year. Like Fletch ain't what he used to be, but he's still got juice in the tank, no doubt. So they make Jordan Davis play the whole game. There's some say Philly D, you're weird. Yeah. Why has everyone got to fucking fight? What is with everybody? Fucking fighting back and forth. On a positive note, we are the team everyone thinks they can beat and could beat anybody. Yeah, I mean, we look like we're an easy beater. So, Terrell says Slay not going nowhere. Nobody taking that contract. If there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Well, what's a harder contract to get rid of? What's a harder contract? Is it Slay or is it Bradbury? I mean, I know Bradbury's getting paid what, 12, 13 a year? Something like that. We got a super chat from Spunk. What's going on, man? Appreciate it so much. And the media wonders why these players don't like talking to them. They're always twisting words. When players don't give them bait, they just make crap up. Marshawn Lynch used to toy with troll them. Oh, yeah, that's what he was great at doing. So, yeah, I mean, do if he does, like that's... If A.J. Brown was to talk to the media for the past 2 weeks and just give excuse after excuse, that's what it is. But if he doesn't show up, I think it's worse if he doesn't show up. So that's going to make... And that's... I don't even care if he doesn't show up, but that's just going to make it worse. So... $29 million for who? Andrew says, "New mic." No, this is the same mic I use. It's just I had to grab the stand for it because my the boomstick place thing that goes inside, it broke on me. The boomstick's not broken. The that holds the mic, the where I put it under the desk and tighten it, it broke off. So I have to get a new one. I've been trying to look for the exact one I wanted. I haven't found it online yet, so I've been using this stand. I don't have my pop filters on right now for to make it sound more clear. You're pretty much looking at this video in 4K, I think. I don't know. 2K to 4K, 4K. I don't know. I know it's in better quality. So I'm actually using what my computer's built to do. My videos, I haven't changed much of anything when it came to quality. I mean, it's looked almost the same almost every time. So, Adam, what's going on, man? With the super chat says, "Hey Joey, hope you haven't given up hope on the season. I know we're down in the dumps, so whenever I think I am, outbursts pulling back in. Yeah, dude. Like I look, I'm down about the coaching staff failing the players. Because I feel like the players are really trying to make changes. The players can only do so much. They're coached the way they're coached. They run plays the way they have to run plays. It comes down to execution, and it comes down to the coaching staff getting these guys prepared to win a football game. And that's what I'm not high on right now. I am going to support this team, and I'm excited. I'm excited to have a playoff game because I want to see what they do. What if they do win? It's actually really exciting. Of course I've been down in the dumps the past 5 weeks. It is what it is, dude. I'm tired of having a bitch fest every week and ranting every fucking week about this team, and it sucks. Trust me. But DB says, "Joey, seriously, what is your profession? What do you do for a living?" Well, I am a supervisor at a sanitation company. I pretty much have control of recycling and porta potty business. So that's what I do. That's what I do every day. So, John says, "Joey, I've seen the teams that have a chip on their shoulders going to the playoffs are dangerous. Eagles got to have that chip after these weeks of crap." I think they honestly just want to skip this fucking game. I think they just want to skip this game and get to the playoffs, honestly. So that's how I feel. Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen have accounted for 100 first downs between them just rushing and over 80 touchdowns. Why are they not in the MVP conversation? Well, they're not in the MVP because rushing. I mean, because the league don't take account of rushing touchdowns. They don't respect rushing touchdowns. And yes, the league is changing. We're getting more mobile quarterbacks than standard pocket quarterbacks now. And I don't know, the league for some reason, even though passing touchdowns and the way you get touchdowns and style makes you more of an MVP, I don't know. He's obviously out of the MVP race right now, but I'm telling you, what they were doing in that gauntlet and what Jalen Hurts was doing. I mean, during the first Dallas Cowboy game, Jalen Hurts was literally on his stomach trying to get up off the ground and, in so much pain to score a touchdown. I mean, just the shit I've seen Jalen Hurts do this year, it's They just don't respect, the rushing touchdowns. I don't know. They just don't respect it. I don't know. It doesn't. That's how I feel. That's the way I feel like the league looks at it. And that's just me. I don't know. I'm in the mob. No. I had emotionally decouple from this team. It was unhealthy. There's absolutely nothing I could do about it. No. You gotta at the end of the day, when you're used to losing this much, you get used to it. When you lose that first game, it sucks. When you lose that second game, you're fucking pissed. When you lose that third game, you're like, damn. And then you lose another one, you're just like, yeah, it's whatever now. Then you just accept the fact they're just going to lose the way they lose. John says, Joey, I pegged you as either a welder. I know, guy, I've tried welding before, but I'm not good at it. I've tried welding a long time ago. I never liked it. Electrician, no. Spunky 91 with Super Chat says, Joey is lying to you guys. He's a CEO and pimp. Nah, I'm not a CEO. I'm not a pimp. I have a regular job like everybody else, unfortunately. Chris says, Joey, is it time to bring out the dog mask again? Maybe the team needs to have that agenda again to feed them that idea. Worked once, why not? Yeah, I mean, they need to find something with it. I don't know if there's some type of thing they could use to motivate them. I think it's going to come down to just being there for each other. And I'm sorry, but the coaching staff is going to have 100% blame if this playoff game doesn't go through how it goes through. It's just the truth. We got through chat from Adam. Thank you so much, man. He says, the people comparing Hurts to old Wentz with the same issues Wentz had. Fuck out of here. I don't think I could listen to 94 WIP with the way they clickbait shit. No. You can't compare Wentz to Hurts because Wentz, after Jalen Hurts came in, Wentz was physically beaten at his job. And the number one thing that bothered me is he was mentally beaten. Mentally beaten out of Philadelphia. And didn't want to fight for his job. And never thanked the fans for all they supported him. And that was it's a lot of mental stuff when it comes to Carson Wentz I didn't like. And how he went to two really good rosters with the Colts and went to a better roster with Washington. Handed on a silver platter. He didn't have to compete with the Colts, and Frank Reich's the only reason why Carson Wentz has a job. Frank Reich is the only reason why Carson Wentz left and still had a job with the Colts, and then went off and still had a job with Washington. Didn't have to compete, didn't have to go against anybody. I don't respect a guy like that. Now he's the backup for the the Rams, and I know they're sitting Matt Stafford out. I think he's starting this week. I will never compare them both. And I don't know. Of course, it's all about getting views, and I get it. That's what everybody does. It's a fucking world we live in. Everybody wants the fucking attention, so. Thanks. I think Serianni needs to let Brian Johnson implement his offense stuff. So I did community service at a recycling center for a month of work release. I'd press 12-ounce bags of tobacco down 10-ton cardboard press. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm just in the office. I pretty much do everything from the office. I don't drive or anything. I used to, but not anymore. So. Young boy said, Majestic said, imagine the playoffs, they sub Gainwell for Penny. That'd be great. What a waste. What the fuck? Why aren't these beat writers asking this shit about Rashad Penny? What's the fucking a ground for pound in between the tackle type back that's great in open space and hasn't had a fucking opportunity this year? I mean, really hasn't had a fucking opportunity, bro. Fucking annoys me. I fucking hate it. That annoys me so much. Chris with the super chat says WIP's parent company is filing for bankruptcy. Explains a lot of their narrative. I didn't even know that. That's weird. I didn't even know that at all. You guys should rush everybody. It won't matter. Health-wise, it will. Health-wise, it will. But Devo K. Cho. William Gilbert said, Joey, I know how he won't do it, but I believe we need to bench Bradbury and start Ringo and give Brown some more snaps. Yeah, I get it. I absolutely love Sidney Brown. I do. Like, I think he's got a ton of talent. It's there. But the number one thing they have to do going into next offseason, they have to start cross-training and working some guys to be hybrid-type players. Okay, Sidney Brown from corner to safety. And I think, to be honest, I think Sidney Brown plays better at safety because I feel like he can cover a lot of field with his legs. And I feel like he's got really good, he's one of the only players on this team that fucking hits people. I mean, I'm sorry, but between him and Reed, honestly, dude, I don't even think Reed is a starting safety, to be honest. I don't. Reed is an in-the-box type of safety, but he's got to do both as a starter. He can't cover. He can't do much of anything else. As a backup, maybe 3 safety sets or something like that. He could do a lot more. They need to cross-train. Nolan Smith has got to cross-train the Sam linebacker. They need another edge guy. There's no doubt. They need another edge guy. And they need to cross-train Nolan Smith and Sidney Brown. No doubt. Keep doing it. But Nolan Smith needs more and Nolan Smith was hurt this offseason. Before the season started. Then he played mostly special teams. Then he was listed on the roster as like a Sam linebacker most of the weeks beginning of the season. Never really got an opportunity. And he's really hasn't really done much. There's not enough work. Adam with the super chat, thank you so much, man. It's really crazy that the QB from North Dakota State grew a huge ego and thought he deserved everything under the sun after one season. Now, bro, is the backup for Fratty Stafford. So what happens? That injury fucked him up. I think that injury fucked him up mentally. I think Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl in front of him really fucked him up. I think it really screwed him up. No doubt. I 100% think it did. 100%. We got your chat, Chris. WIP's parent company is filing for bankruptcy. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. The dog match was unique to 2017. Keep it that way. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're not going to do that this year. They need to really. They should really. The coaches should be wearing dog masks and should be trying to fucking get this thing right. Another super chat from Fugly says, Joey, Reed can cover. You hurt my heart. I don't know. I don't think he can. No. I don't think he's good at coverage consistently. I really don't. I think Sidney Brown is way better in coverage. Sidney Brown is so fast. And even if it looks like Sidney Brown's getting beat, man, when he gets to for safety help or something, when he gets to a receiver last second, clocks the ball right out. He's done it a lot this year. I think Sidney Brown is a stud. I really do. In the making. I really do. It was nice seeing that. It was nice. And I'm not even saying that because of the play that he did against the Cardinals when he had the 99-yard pick six. But there's a lot there with him. Chris says, Rasul Douglas is a great example of how mid-round cornerback should have kept and developed properly. Look how good he is. Yeah, but dude, he went to 4 other teams, dude. And we played really well against him. He got burnt, dude. He's not Rasul Douglas is not good. Yeah, he might have played good in a good system with a Green Bay for a little while, but he went to the fucking Raiders. He went to Green Bay. I mean, I think he went to like 4 fucking teams, dude. Like, I know it's easy to say that now and be like, oh, look at Rasul Douglas. Look how good he's playing now, dude. Like, he's been to 4 fucking teams for a reason. 5 teams, 4 teams, whatever. He's not good. He's not good, as everyone thinks. Like, everyone thinks it's easy to say, oh, look what Rasul Douglas is doing. You know, like, I get it. Like, I like when fans say that, and it's just like, okay, well, he's been to a lot of teams. It is what it is. Folks, just put Reed on Brown at linebacker. No one thinks about that. Yeah, but they're not going to do that. I mean, they'll never do that. I feel like, if they want the cross train him there, that'd be great. I just don't think they're going to do it, though. Unfortunately. Tom says, does Howie not have eyes? Like, clearly what he wants isn't working. How could this not change? Yeah, it didn't change when we were winning games, and now that we're losing games, it still didn't change. So I don't get, like, what the holdup is and why everything looks the exact same every fucking week. Clearly not running the football, not running this offense through DeAndre Swift. The route combinations, the play recognition. I mean, your quarterback's regressing now because of the way you're playing your offense and putting him into these positions now where you're forcing him to throw. You're forcing him to do certain things where he's not comfortable in. And I think Hurts has been off because of what the coaches have done with him. Even with this knee injury, they haven't made it more easy on him. Drew Ray says, this defensive scheme guys, like, let's be real. When the hell have you seen a team trying to switch a scheme slowly during a season? Never. You never see that at all. DB says, go okay, fellas. Good luck on Sunday. I wish you guys were good enough to play us in the playoff next year. Yeah, well, we'll find out what they're made of. I can't say much of anything. They're not playing well, so I can't say much. It's just the truth. We got Adam with the super chat says, on another note, Jordan Davis, I love you, but brother fades every season. Carter's going to be great. Davis just bugs me because their first 5 games, he's good, then nothing. Oh, he played good. He played good more than 5 weeks. I mean, there are times where he's commanding double teams. There's times where he's gotten really good at the pass rush. But your whole defensive line, it doesn't count anymore. What counts for your defensive line when you're not running stunts, you're not blitzing, you're not freeing up anybody, you're not filling in a gap for these linebackers. The linebackers ain't playing downhill. Like, what chance do they have? You're telling, I mean, if you're not even running a stunt, I mean, you're literally just lining them up and saying, go. I mean, that's all you're doing every game. I mean, that's why he's not a bad player, dude. Like, everybody's hit a wall the last few weeks. Who on the defensive lines played good the last few weeks? Really, who's played good? Reddick, maybe a little bit more, I guess. Chris Cobbin, what's up with the super chat? He says, if Eric Bieniemy shakes loose, do you hire him? 100%. Look what's going on. See, this is what happens when you change coaches, and the problem is there are teams that change coaches and either play great or fail because of a new coach, whether it's another offensive coordinator. Look at the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs change coordinators and they don't look great offensively. I think they lead the league in fucking drops still. I think part of it is Tyreek Hill, and I think part of it is new scheme. 100%. Look at their defense. Spagnuolo, They've had him for 5 fucking years. Look at their defense. The only reason why KC's played well this year is because of that fucking defense. That defense is good because they've had the same defensive coordinator in the building for 5 fucking years. Since 2019 he's been with the Chiefs. They've had the same coach for 5 fucking years on the defensive side. It's a huge difference, man, what it looks like. Eric Bieniemy to Matt Nagy. It's 2 different coaches. Bieniemy has done really well with Washington. Washington's just got a lot of... Sam Howell's been up and down all year. He's been up. He was good beginning to middle of the season and really started to, he's made mistakes throughout the year, but has come back pretty well, but hasn't looked good towards the end of the year either. But the problem is, like, Howie just has to say, I need to let go. And if Eric Bieniemy was available, fuck yeah, in a heartbeat. Because I know that Eric Bieniemy runs his own offense, and he's all to himself, and it's his offense, and if he's the blame, he's the blame. Even Joe Brady is another guy maybe I would hire. And obviously they like running the ball with quarterbacks a lot, because look at Josh Allen right now. Joe Brady would be another guy. Maybe. They situated, there's decisions he's made that aren't the best. Fabio Vilcano says, dude makes no sense and Barnett leaves and D sucks. Yeah, I don't get it either. Like, he only had 2 tackles here, and then he goes to the Texans. He has 2.5 sacks already in a few weeks. And another 12, 13 tackles. 12 to 14. What did he have? Like 15 tackles for the year now? And like 2.5 sacks? 14 tackles? Something like that? Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. That I don't get too much. I don't get that whole thing either. I hate when people, and then look, I didn't want Barnett, after this year I wanted Barnett gone anyway, but it's a perfect example why, like, I don't know how players leave here, and this defensive scheme is just horrible. It's just horrible. Defensive linemen have no chance in this scheme. They don't. I mean, what's the point of paying defensive tackles if you're playing off ball at your corners? And what's the sense of paying corners for the number one thing they should be good at is coverage, and they don't even let them cover. They let them defend an area half the time. It just makes no sense. Or a West, like, look, and another thing too, like, maybe, like, for the offense, you need, like, a West Coast style offense. I mean, something like that, where they use a fullback, or, I don't know, I feel like they would do better in that area with Hurts' skill set, and they just don't do it, Thanks. Why do we want to fire Nick and go through the growing pains again? We need to be careful what we ask for. Brian Johnson is in year 1. We had 2 years with Steichen. Because I feel like once you lose the locker room, it's. I mean, they haven't lost it yet, but the players start to get a little, out of touch. And when you lose constant games like this, and you can't hold on to the players and what they could do, it's a problem. Philly D says dominate running the ball with long drives. And that's what they don't do. They don't put teams away. They want to throw the kill shot downfield. They want to run a screen pass, or they want to run what hurts 2 fucking times. That's the issue I have. Like, they're making it so much harder on themselves, and they're shooting themselves in the fucking foot. That's just what it is. We want to change coaches more and more. What happened to continuity? I'm saying, like, if you lose a locker room, there's no way, like, the players will not like that coach anymore. I'm not saying that it's lost, but it's almost to that point. Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter who's in control. If no one believes in your head coach, or the philosophy, or the culture is completely broken at this point, then it's a problem. It's a problem. James A says, hey, Joey, the season cannot be salvaged. The problem starts with the owner. This whole organization needs a philosophy change. Yeah, it does. It needs a pure redesign. And it can't be a dictatorship off of analytics and a fucking GM to the coaching staff. Hiring coordinators, hiring a defensive coordinator that has no feel for the game. I don't even know. What's our identity? What's our identity? What's the identity of this offense? Could someone answer that? Because I don't think we know. When you run through analytics 100% purely, you're not gonna know what your identity is. Yeah, the Bills changed offensive coordinators and they actually played really well. Yeah, Josh Allen's thrown a lot of picks this year, and they've ran with him a lot. That's the only thing about Joe Brady I don't like is that they run with quarterbacks a lot in that scheme, But I don't mind running with Jalen Hurts that much. The problem is that, there's a nice passing game that comes with it, and I feel like you can get that out of Joe Brady in the offense. So I don't know. Same here, even if it means losing Nick, hire Eric. I don't even know if Eric Bieniemy's leaving Washington. I don't know. They run the football a lot. Because I'm telling you right now, they hire a guy that we know runs the ball a lot, and he comes here and they don't even run, then it's controlled already. If they hire some other dude that's an assistant off of another roster, a coaching staff that we're just like, it's so random, you already know it's a guy they want to control. That's just what it is. Easy wants to, what OC wants to be Lurie and Howie's puppet? Yes, man. Frank left because of that. John DeFilippo, same as well. Shane Steichen left to the Colts team, who sucks. Pattern fired Doug over. Well, yeah, I mean, Steichen, the Colts aren't great, but they have a playoff spot right now. The Colts have a playoff spot right now. That's the difference. Doesn't matter what the record is. They're in the playoffs. Simple as that. They always said most playoff games are close games and we won twice, but we lost. Yeah, I don't even care. When it comes to playoff games, I don't care what the score is. As long as they're not, inflicting themselves too much in these games where, they're just literally hurting themselves. And, if they're neck and neck just going back and forth with the team, that's fine. But, when it comes to the playoffs, I don't care if they win by a point. As long as they win, it's all that matters. But, yes, we want to make sure that in the playoffs they somewhat look a little bit better than what they've been looking like. And I think that's where it's really important. Fowler says the problem is the D-line is the players don't have moves or their technique is not where they need to make a play. I think that's part of it, too. That's part of it. Like I said, maybe Tracy Rocker's not doing good with them. Maybe they need to hire somebody else. I don't know. We'll see. Janelle Ray says, would you rather have a QB that could win 2 to 3 Super Bowls in the next 7 years or a mobile quarterback that would play for 17 seasons and win 4 MVPs? I want Super Bowls. I don't give a fuck about the MVPs. I don't give a shit about MVPs. I care about Super Bowls, not MVPs. MVPs is a stat line for a specific award, for a personal award for a player. I can care less about the MVP. You win a playoff game forgets regular season? No, it's not. But, what? Am I not supposed to be happy if they win a playoff game? I'll be shocked if they win a playoff game. I'll be shocked if they win. Be honest. I know they have the talent to do it. It's what's behind it with the coaching? That's where I come down to it. I'm not going to forget anything. This could be one of the most craziest seasons we've ever had, and the Eagles have a chance to really, dig themselves out of somewhere and do some good things. They don't deserve an easy home game in the playoffs. They deserve that. They should be on the road. They should really find that inner fight between the coaching staff and the players. Find that inner fight to fucking win And who knows what could happen if they win that Tampa Bay game, what could happen next. Simple as that. Because theoretically, you could meet the Cowboys. Theoretically, you could meet the 49ers again. Most likely the 49ers, but Shane says Josh Allen's 3 inches and a good 30 pounds on Hurts. Jalen isn't built to run the ball like Allen. Big difference. Yeah, he's a lot more heavier. I know that. I get it. But we haven't seen Jalen Hurts with his 100% speed since last season. Hurts hasn't had his speed since last year. I watched clips from Hurts from last year and how fast he was with his legs. Damn. I mean, no hesitation how fast he was last year. We'll be making a run in the playoffs. Chris says if they win 2 playoff games, I'll forgive. If they win 2 playoff games, damn, that's a nice turnaround. Their main test right now is to stay healthy for the playoffs and then get into that playoff game and really show us what they got. Nate says, go design airframe goofball. All right, what the fuck is going on? Why are people fighting? Everybody says, I'll be shocked if we win because our defense is horrible. Yeah, I mean, if we lose the game, it's obviously going to be because of the defense, no doubt. Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Dallas, then go off to Vegas. Yep. Torvald said, I think the only way we win a playoff game is if we blow off the Giants on Sunday, and if the defense is somewhat respectable. Maybe. But it's a week-to-week league, bro. Playoffs is a whole different aspect. It's the regular season is done. You reset yourselves. It's a new season in the playoffs. NFL is scripting the Super Bowl for Eagles fans to give up with the Eagles. Allison Saunders says, give Swift the ball and don't switch up on third. We'll be good. That's what I want them to do. Run with DeAndre Swift. I'm telling you right now, like, don't waste DeAndre Swift. Don't give him 5 carries in the first fucking half of this playoff game. Because I'm telling you, I mean, we're trying to talk about against the Giants on Sunday. I don't even give a shit at this point. Like, they're going to be resting some guys. Guys aren't probably going to play for more than a half. Who knows? You know. You already said big week. They blind here. That's crazy. It's fucking nuts. We got 192 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the stream. Appreciate it so much, guys. All the love. We're going to give it another couple minutes, probably. We're almost close to 2 hours. We're like an hour and 48 right now. And we'll do a little bit of announcement at the end. I'll give you the schedule for the weekend, what we're doing. And we'll get things rolling. Thanks. I feel Jalen had a good year, but he's been inconsistent. That's definitely true. Klaus, NFL has been scripting for this year, so question is, doubt is who paid to win the Super Bowl? The way the Eagles just changed honestly looks scripted. I don't know. Like, I feel like this whole thing with, like, AJ Brown having this interview, and then all of a sudden, like, the players are like, "Oh, we're gonna be playing back to our normal ball," and I don't know what's gonna happen. The Giants game is gonna be interesting, but I'm not gonna put too much into it. Matt, if I see Penny in playoffs, I'll be having a shock in my system. Yeah, I doubt that, but we'll see. If I see DeAndre Swift have more than 20 carries in a playoff game, I'll be shocked. What a waste, man. He's just hit over 1,000 yards, second to last game of the season. It's a fucking joke. That just shows you how good we can be. And it just doesn't work that way. Just how it is. It's how it is, bro. But hey, it is what it is. But guys, we're gonna definitely head out. So I want to talk to you. Obviously, I want to give one more update quick. So make sure, okay, Joe Castro, definitely go to his GoFundMe page and donate. He covers the NFL Combine. He covers the draft. He covers all that great stuff that it's really hard to do. Traveling expenses are crazy. He gave out a lot of stuff to me and Philly 500 this past year on a lot of news and other content creators as well. And, does a lot of really good work. And, go to his GoFundMe and just donate $1, donate $3, $5, something. It doesn't matter what it is. Just if you do that, it's very easy, and help him out. It really does. It really does help, what his dreams and, he wants to do things professionally and it works really, really hard. So if you guys, definitely go to his link is in the description below. And I just put it in the live chat as well to his GoFundMe page, and please donate. I really would appreciate everybody, supporting and coming together for at least content creators in general, because for guys that want to do this professionally, it's not easy. There's people that do this for obviously. There's people that do this obviously for hobbies like me, because it's just a hobby. I never want to do this professionally as like on. A broadcaster or a beat writer, something like that. It's not even like that. Appreciate it. I appreciate it, Jarrell. I appreciate it so much, man. His GoFundMe is $1,000. It's $1,000. I don't know what it's at right now. I could check real quick. Let me actually see if it's more people donated or not. We'll see. It's at $255 right now. Yeah, 17 donations. 7 donations, $255. So that's a good start for him. So appreciate everybody that could support him and what he's doing. Link in the description and the chat as well. So definitely check that out. And that's it. So the schedule for this weekend as of right now. We're going to be doing the Philly Shakedown podcast we're going to be doing the Philly Shakedown tomorrow night. We'll be talking about everything going to the game. Also, we'll talk the playoffs and a bunch of other stuff. We'll do that. We'll do the live play-by-play reaction on Sunday. Well, that's what I said, Jarrell. I said, is $1,000 enough? I was actually surprised it was just that. I was like, hopefully that, a lot of shit's expensive, man. That's what I was thinking when I first saw it. I didn't ask him, but I was like, dude, maybe you could put that up a little bit more, because shit's not cheap to do. But if that's only what he needs, that's what he needs, Live play-by-play on Sunday. Then we'll have the post shakedown on Sunday night, obviously after the game and stuff. So yeah, we'll be ready to go. So other than that, guys, appreciate everybody coming in and supporting. Appreciate all the membership, super chats, all that great stuff. And you've commented on videos. Check out some of the videos. Check out some of the content. And I'll have a video out for tomorrow, probably late morning, something like that. I'm not going to rush to do anything tonight. I need to relax tonight. It's supposed to be really bad weather on the East Coast. A lot of snow is supposed to be coming in tomorrow, so I got to keep an eye on that. And that's it. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night on the Shakedown. All right? Subscribe to the channel, like the stream. I'll see you guys later. Shakes it up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace out, guys.